Hey guys, so earlier last week I called out Boeing as a very strong buy signal at around the $170 mark, and now around 2 weeks later they're up $18 from that range at the high of today. And if you did get them at the bottom I mentioned, now I said I bought my shares at 170 as a good middle price. However, the bottom of this move was around the 155 mark, and if you did get them at that price, it was around the $30 bounce to today, and you're looking at some very good profits here. Now, one of the main reasons why I was kind of calling them out is because they had an estimated of negative 254 per share and did almost 100 or twice as bad as they were expected to do, 100%, and they reported around $5 of loss per share, which is very abysmal for any stock, any company at all. And the fact that we're seeing growth during this time is pretty incredible here, but it's probably due to the technical analysis that I was pointing out the other day. Now, in my other video, now I don't want to go too in depth because I already did talk about this, but I was kind of pointing out that there was a wedge pattern forming between April and June, and that once that wedge broke out, it seemed that there was another one forming here from June to August or September here. So to just keep an eye out, and when I did buy in, like I said, I bought in at the 168, 170 range here. They dipped all the way to around 155. However, the very same day that they came to 155, they had a very strong green and were already back at 162. So that was probably a good indication of when the time was going to reverse, when the stock price was going to start reversing to the upside. And like I said, we were basically looking for this top bar to be retested one more time, which it was, and then we had a pullback down to the base price of 168 again. Now, I held my shares through this whole time. If you do have a technical analysis strategy, if you do see some kind of setup on the chart, it's always better for you to make sure that this setup has been broken by setting stop losses here, and my stop loss was set a little bit below this line here. Because of the fact that you see so many candles grouping here, you can tell that this is a tough price for them to break, and my analysis was correct. They did not come below this price, my shares did not sell out, and fortunately I was able to make a huge return here on the bounce. And another play that I just made yesterday, when I saw them kind of have 2 to 3 days of earnings here of good recovery, is that I bought this 250 call for around September the 11th. And then the 250 call, I sold it today around 2 days later for almost double the price here. So just keep a close eye out on these plays, guys. When I call them out, that's why it's always important to be subscribed and to kind of be watching the videos as soon as they come out and kind of paying attention to the analysis, especially because you could have potentially gotten at an even better price than I did. However, both of our prices would have been able to win thanks to the technical analysis that I showed you, and thanks to the strong tape reading that I'm able to do here on a daily basis. Now, I wouldn't have made this trade if I was going in blind. Now, if I was just holding a random position at the 170, I definitely would have sold it when it went $20 under. However, because of the fact that I was able to do this analysis and see all these technical levels, that's why I knew that when I saw this reversal here at around the 155, that my position was very strong and that I should just wait and not sell out. So that's why it's always kind of important, and I always like to say to you guys, hey, make sure you have a clear indication of when you're planning to come in and come out on any certain stock and for what reason. Now, like I said, Boeing had just come off a very bad earnings report, and I was expecting them to have a pullback here all the way to the line, which they did have, and then they came down even farther below, which I wasn't very much expecting them to come down $20 below, but I was very happy as it allowed me to get in at a better price once I saw this reversal happening. So I won on both my accounts. As far as stocks, I won on those from 170 to 185, sold them today. And as far as my options contracts on my smaller Robinhood account, those are also winning. You can see that just today they made around $60 when it loads here. And honestly, I'm very happy about how my small account is going. And it's been all from trading these smaller plays that I've been calling out almost on a daily basis here. So just keep a close eye on a lot of these stocks. This was just supposed to be a shorter recap video here to kind of explain what's been going on with Boeing, how that play progressed throughout the week, because I was very happy of how it did. And if you did get in on that trade, you are up very much right now. So yeah, guys, just keep a close eye out. As always, this technical analysis does not fail. If you buy in at a minimum price, it is literally impossible for you to kind of lose money in the short or long run here, especially if you're a swing or day trader. It's very important for you to kind of see these levels and not just trade on what you've seen in the last week, but potentially on some longer term patterns like we saw with Boeing, where the pattern was taking a few months to form. However, when it did hit, now we've seen a $30 movement here, and it's a good point to kind of decide whether or not you're going to stay in on the trade or potentially take your profits here at the 186 level. So just keep a close eye out on everything that's happening. The stock market hasn't been very, very green here within the last few days, so it's just good to keep a close eye out on these stocks and kind of reevaluate every step of the way whether or not there's enough momentum to continue pushing upwards on a stock. So yeah, guys, just keep a close eye out. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and thanks for watching.